This video is going to cover the basics of creating pour drawings in Tekla. First step we'll do is select our views, and we'll click in the background and create general arrangement drawing. Before we create this drawing, we're going to load up our pour drawing properties. Those are out of the box and available if you're selecting the cast in place role. So we can apply those settings, hit OK. So it'll take on those pour GA settings once we create this drawing. Once we do that, we can see what we have out of the box. So we'll have those views on our page. There's the template that's defined in the layout settings, and our title block that's also defined in the layout settings. You want to pause the video and we can see where all this information is being taken from to control our views, if we're showing pours, how we want our objects called out, and how we want them to appear. If we pull up the view settings, just like we can define part view and pour view in the model, we can do the same in the drawings. So we're going to set show pours in drawings to be yes. This is the default setting if you loaded and created your drawings using the pour setting. I can change my scale of all of my views at once and hit modify, and I can arrange my drawing views, and Tekla will automatically move those and fit those in my work area. If we click on edit settings to pull up the object level settings for the GA drawing properties of pours, there are rules defined how to colorize a pour based on its pour number. Since there are no pour object marks defined in the object level settings, they're being taken from the pour object mark section. Our pour mark is set up for the following, giving the pour type, the pour number, the mix, and the volume. One thing important to note is that the visibility in view is set to none, so it'll not automatically add marks out to the pours. You can change it to be always, so that it'll automatically add them once you open up your drawing. With none, you have the ability to control what you want to add your part marks to. So I could just click on one wall and add that part mark, or select on all my pours and add them at one time. And if I zoom into my part mark setting, I can see what information is being called out for each pour. If we want to isolate certain pours or hide pours in our drawings, we can define filter settings here so we can only show pour 1 and 2. If I load my drawing, it'll update my visual. So now we're just showing pour 1 and 2 in all of the views. Let's go over an example of adding an additional view on our sheet. This will be creating a section view, so if you double click on section view, load and apply the pours settings. So we'll hit apply, OK, so the new view will use those pour settings. So to create a section, we'll just click on the first point and the second point of where we're cutting through. Then we'll click 2 points again to define the depth down and up for this section view. And then place your view. And we can control the height of what we want to see in our drawing, and we can move around those automatic part marks to make them more suitable. If we want to make that depth farther so we can see those pours in the background, we can do that. If I only want to show pours in my view, I can load up the setting pour object all, so it'll remove those steel columns that you can see on the pilasters. I can move my part marks around, they were automatic. If we want to add in manual details, we can add in level marks for top of concrete. Selecting the location to call it out from and where we want to place that mark. We can add additional views after we create our drawing. In this example, we're going to create a pour drawing sequence. So I'm selecting my model view and adding these into my drawing. We'll skip through some of the procedures. What I'm doing is adding 6 views onto my sheet and then adding filters to each one. So the top left view will only show pour 1, the one below it will show pour 1 and 2, the one in the bottom left will show pour 1, 2, and 3, and you can get the idea for the rest of them. That's all for this video. If you have any other questions about the pour functionality in the drawings, please reach out to your local Tekla services team or post a comment below.